Mrs. Chana Sharfstein recalls one of her first private audiences with the Rebbe as a young woman in her early 20s.
I really enjoyed going in for every Yechidus that I had with him. It was a very special experience to have a private audience and be able to really relate to the Rebbe, and he was extremely easy to relate to. It was always a very pleasant, very warm, comforting experience, and you always left feeling on a high. Well, one of the times that I came in, maybe it was the second or third time, I really don't remember, the Rebbe started asking me about shidduchim, and I was dating. So I just answered, yes, I've been meeting people. And then he asked me about a specific bocher, and I had met that bocher, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, that's interesting that he should ask about somebody that I had met. And I said, yes, I met him. Very fine bocher, very nice bocher, but it's not for me. So then the Rebbe smiled and he said, all right. And then he asked about a second bocher, and I had seen that one also. And I'm thinking to myself, well, it's interesting that he should think of two people that I had gone out with. And again, this same thing. Yes, he was very, very nice, but he's not really for me. And maybe he asked why, and maybe I did answer whatever my reasons were. Then he went on to third and fourth and fifth, and I became really uncomfortable. And how did the Rebbe know to choose all the names of bochrim that I had met? It wasn't that he was saying, did you ever think of this bocher, or is there anyone you've ever heard of? I was just absolutely overwhelmed that he should say names of people that I had actually met. I had no idea that every bocher, before they went out with a girl, would write into the Rebbe to ask, should I go out with this girl? Is that suitable? And so the Rebbe knew about it. But even to think of that, he was a very busy man. He was a world leader at the time. To keep track of which person had been dating whom, it's kind of mind-boggling. It's really mind-boggling. Well, after he had gone through the list that I had, and it was inconclusive, of course, then he gave me this beautiful explanation of love that I've been sharing with people ever since. It was never written down, of course, because the Rebbe told it to me in person. He recalled what I had said in my previous Yechidus that I liked to read. I was an avid reader, and I just enjoyed reading all the time. And so the Rebbe said to me, I know you like to read. I said, oh, yes, I do. He said, and what kind of books do you prefer reading? I said, oh, I'd love to read novels. The Rebbe said, well, novels are in the category of fiction, and fiction is not real. Fiction is make-believe. So whatever you read in a novel is just make-believe. It's not what happens in real life. It's not like two people meet and there's this big, blinding storm of passion. That's not what real love or real life is all about. It says two people meet and there can be a thread of understanding, and it's like a tiny, tiny little flame. And then as these two people merge their lives and decide to build a home together and raise a family through everyday activities of life, through caring and sharing, to committing to each other, to going through the daily tribulations of life, this little flame grows ever brighter and gets into a much bigger flame until these two people started out as virtual strangers. Their lives become intertwined to such a point that neither one of them can think of life without the other one. He says that is what true love is all about. It's the small acts that you do on a daily basis that make you become, instead of you and I, it becomes us.